Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we transform complex information into clear, actionable insights for you. Today, we're tackling a question that has probably crossed your mind more than once. In a world overflowing with information, choices, constant demands, how do we actually achieve extraordinary results without feeling completely overwhelmed? It's a challenge that, well, it seems to grow with every new app, every new opportunity, every new expectation.
It's a feeling many of us know well, that nagging sense of attempting too much and accomplishing too little. Really, the abundance of opportunities, amplified by technology can be incredibly inspiring, yet also profoundly overwhelming. We're just bombarded with more choices in a day than our ancestors probably saw in a lifetime. And the sheer volume, it can easily paralyze us, leading to a state of constant busy without much actual progress.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into a powerful book that offers a surprisingly simple, almost counterintuitive solution. It's called The One Thing: The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary W. Keller and Jay Papasan. And this isn't just another productivity book promising more hacks, It's fundamentally about doing less, but doing what matters most. And it promises that by doing so, you can unlock extraordinary results.
Exactly. Our mission today is to distill the core principles and the practical applications of this book for you. We'll explore how identifying and focusing on your one thing can create this kind of unstoppable domino effect. We'll systematically debunk common myths about productivity that might be holding you back, things we all believe, and arm you with strategies to truly achieve what matters most in your life.
So if you're ready to rethink how you approach your goals, simplify your focus, and unlock your fullest potential in every aspect of your life, then lean in. Let's unpack this.
The core philosophy: unpacking the one thing.
So let's start with the central, maybe revolutionary idea of this book. What exactly is the one thing? The authors introduce this powerful concept with some wisdom as old as time, captured by a Russian proverb. If you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one.
It sounds so straightforward, right? Yet it feels so difficult to implement in our daily lives.
That proverb, yeah, as simple as it sounds, it truly encapsulates the core principle. It means identifying the single most important thing you can do to achieve your goals, and then focusing all your energy, your time, your willpower on that one thing. It's about going small, deliberately ignoring or, deferring all the things you could do, the endless possibilities, and instead committing entirely to what you should do, that one essential task. The book really challenges the very notion that all things matter equally. It asserts that finding the things that matter most and then prioritizing them above all else is the real secret to extraordinary success.
And what's remarkable is that this isn't just about business or professional achievements.
Right. The authors are very clear that this principle applies across all aspects of life: your work, your personal growth, your spiritual path, physical health, key relationships, finances.
Everywhere. Exactly. The core idea is to narrow your concentration, to distill your efforts down to one key action in any given area for truly significant success. It's about recognizing that trying to do everything often means accomplishing very little of real significance. And the authors share a powerful personal turning point that actually led to this philosophy. Gary Keller, in a time of struggle for his company and some personal turmoil, he sought advice from a coach. After reviewing his entire organizational chart, the coach offered a shockingly simple piece of advice. He said there was only one thing he needed to do: identify and find the right individuals for 14 key positions within his company. It's just 14. Keller was initially incredulous, expecting a much more complex strategy. But he took the radical step of essentially firing himself as CEO to make finding those 14 people his singular focus, his one thing. And the results were astounding. Within 3 years, they saw sustained year-over-year growth, averaging 40% for almost a decade. It transformed his company from just a regional player to an international contender. This profound experience wasn't just a business success, it was a personal revelation, and it directly led to the development of the one thing question, which he then started asking his top people.
Wow. And it really hammers home the point that success isn't about being busy, it's about being effective.
Precisely.
That brings us to another powerful analogy the book uses: the domino effect. This is where it really clicked for me. How does focusing on one thing, this singular action, lead to this cascade of positive outcomes that build into something massive?
This is truly fascinating because it demystifies how extraordinary results are actually achieved. They're sequential, not simultaneous. Think of it like lining up dominoes. You knock over the first one and it topples the next and the next, creating this geometric progression. The book cites a remarkable example. A single domino can actually topple another domino that is
Yeah.
about 50% larger.
50%.
Yeah, imagine that power cascading. If you start with just a 2-inch domino, by the 18th domino, you could knock over something the size of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, by the 23rd, the Eiffel Tower, and by the 57th, you could build a domino bridge almost to the moon.
That's incredible.
It is. But the challenge in life is that things aren't always conveniently lined up for us. Right? Highly successful people understand this. They don't wait for the perfect alignment. Instead, they line up their priorities daily, identify that crucial lead domino, and then, as the authors put it, they whack away at it until it falls, setting off that powerful chain reaction.
So it's about consistently doing the next right thing.
Right.
Understanding that success isn't just cumulative, but maybe exponential. Each focused effort builds on the last, adding up to something truly massive over time. It's a powerful testament to the idea that patience and relentless focus on one thing at a time can yield incredible long-term results. Whether you're learning a new skill, building a business, or even like fostering a relationship. It really changes your perspective from trying to juggle 10 things to finding the one critical thing, the one that will make everything else easier.
Or unnecessary.
Or unnecessary, right.
Yeah.
Now, a big part of the one thing is dedicated to what the authors call the lies.
Yeah.
These are prevalent beliefs about productivity and success that actually sabotage our efforts. And I think many of us, well, we unconsciously fall victim to them. Let's tackle some of the biggest ones.
Yeah, the book identifies 6 such pervasive lies. These are everything matters equally, multitasking, a disciplined life, willpower is always on will call, a balanced life, and big is bad. And these aren't just minor misconceptions. They are like operational principles that often drive us in the wrong direction, like fool's gold diverting us from the mother lode. To truly maximize our potential, we have to identify and really put these deeply ingrained beliefs to bed.
Okay, let's start with lie, #1. Everything matters equally. This is such a fundamental one because our to-do lists certainly make it feel like everything is equally urgent and important.
It's a profound misunderstanding of how the world of achievement actually works. It really is. In reality, things are never equal. A small number of causes almost always create the majority of results. The book heavily emphasizes Pareto's principle, often called the 80-20 rule. Roughly 20% of your efforts typically lead to 80% of your results. This principle isn't just a theory, it's as real as, well, the law of gravity. It's a provable, predictable certainty observed across countless fields. Extraordinary results are disproportionately created by far fewer actions than most people realize or are willing to accept.
But the authors take it even further, which is where it truly becomes the one thing. They call it extreme Pareto. They suggest we can continually apply the 80-20 rule to the remaining 20%, taking 20% of the 20% of the 20% until we pinpoint the single most important thing. No matter how many tasks you start with, you can always narrow it down to one. The author gives a fantastic example. In 2001, he challenged his executive team to brainstorm 100 ways to turn around their company's image. They methodically narrowed it down to 10, and then finally to one big idea. He would write a book on how to become an elite performer in their industry. 8 years later, that one book became a national bestseller, fundamentally transforming their image. That's one idea out of 100.
Incredible leverage.
Or consider his personal journey learning guitar with only 20 minutes a day to practice. His friend, the legendary guitarist Eric Johnson, advised him to practice scales, so he chose the minor blues scale as his one thing for the guitar. And by focusing on just that one scale, it unlocked the entire world of rock and roll for him. It's about finding that leverage point.
It really is.
Yeah.
And this stands in stark contrast to our default behavior, which is often to create a long to-do list. The book insightfully renames these to survival lists. Lists designed just to get you through the day, but not necessarily towards meaningful achievement. What we truly need is a success list, which is purposefully created around extraordinary results and is, by design, much shorter. To-do lists pull you in all directions, right? They fragment your energy. Success lists aim you in one specific direction, laser focusing your efforts. Highly successful individuals consistently work from a clear sense of priority. They pause. They decide what truly matters, and then they allow that singular priority to drive their entire day.
Okay, this next one is so crucial, and perhaps the most pervasive lie in our modern culture. Lie, #2, multitasking. Many of us, myself included, have long prided ourselves on being good multitaskers, thinking it's the key to efficiency. But the book calls multitasking a way of lie.
And research just debunks it completely. This is incredibly important for you, our listeners, to understand. A seminal Stanford University study by Dr. Clifford Nass in 2009, involving 262 students. It found that High multitaskers were just lousy at everything.
Lousy at everything. Wow.
Yeah, they were consistently outperformed on every measure and were, strikingly, suckers for irrelevancy. They were easily distracted by information that had no bearing on their primary task. Nass, who actually initially believed in the benefits of multitasking, admitted his findings proved him wrong. Multitasking is neither efficient nor effective. In the world of extraordinary results, it will inevitably fail you.
So that feeling of efficiency, that buzz of juggling multiple things, it's just an illusion.
Completely an illusion.
The book explains it as task switching, rapidly moving your attention between independent tasks, which incurs a significant switching cost. It's not like juggling 3 balls at once, but rather rapidly touching and throwing 1 ball at a time with a pause in between each switch. Think about distracted driving. Even an idle phone conversation can take, what, a 40% bite out of your focus?
At least. It has the same effect on your driving ability as being legally drunk.
That's staggering.
It is. And this constant switching doesn't just reduce efficiency. It leads to poor choices, painful mistakes, and unnecessary stress because your brain is constantly recalibrating.
And the cost extends beyond just productivity, right?
Oh, absolutely. Author Dave Crenshaw, in his work on personal time management, powerfully warns that giving people segmented attention, piecemeal time, damages relationships. And this applies equally to your work and personal life. Undivided attention for what matters most, whether it's your tea project or a conversation with a loved one, is absolutely key. Because when you constantly switch attention, the cognitive cost of re-engagement is far higher than just the time involved. It impacts quality, depth, connection, everything.
Now, this next lie is something we're constantly told we should strive for. Lie #3, a balanced life. This sounds so counterintuitive. Aren't we always striving for work-life balance as the ultimate ideal? But the book challenges this, stating emphatically that balance is bunk.
Yeah, it's a very provocative claim, but one the book argues quite persuasively for. The authors contend that purpose, meaning significance, these are what make a successful life. Achieving extraordinary results, by its very nature, requires focused attention and a disproportionate amount of time dedicated to your one thing. This naturally means that time spent intensely on one thing will, by definition, mean time away from another. This makes true balance, in the sense of equally distributing time and attention across all areas, fundamentally impossible for high achievement. The magic, they argue, happens at the extremes, not in the middle. If you perpetually live in the middle, trying to attend to all things equally, well, everything inevitably gets shortchanged, and nothing truly extraordinary gets accomplished.
So it's not about being perfectly balanced, which is maybe an unattainable myth, but about what the book calls counterbalancing. It suggests 2 types: balancing between work and personal life, and balancing within each of those domains. For professional success, you have to give disproportionate time to your one thing. You have to accept that other work issues will be out of balance for periods. This means going long and kind of making peace with temporary imbalance to achieve those extraordinary results.
Right. However, the book makes a crucial distinction for your personal life. While work might demand intense, imbalanced focus, your personal life requires more immediate counterbalancing, more attention. You must remain acutely aware of your spirit, your body, family, friends, personal needs, all that stuff. You can move back and forth quickly and maybe combine activities to some extent, but you cannot neglect any of them for long without severe consequences. The famed author James Patterson uses this powerful analogy of 5 juggling balls: work, family, health, friends, and integrity. He notes that work is a rubber ball. If you drop it, it usually bounces back. But the others, they're glass. If dropped, they shatter. So it's about conscious prioritization, not elusive balance, to protect what truly matters and shape your destiny.
Okay, so if these lies mislead and derail us, what's the truth? The book connects 3 powerful concepts that form the true foundation of success: purpose, priority, and productivity. How do they weave together to create extraordinary results?
They are best understood as parts of an iceberg. That's a great visual. Productivity is what you see above water, the visible results, the output. But it's buoyed by the colossal foundation of purpose and priority below the surface. With typically only, 19th of an iceberg visible, what you observe as high productivity is just the tip of everything that is truly driving it. The more productive people are, the more purpose and priority are pushing and driving them from beneath. Your big one thing is your ultimate purpose. And your small one thing, that's the priority you take action on daily to achieve it. Productive people always start with purpose. That guides their priorities and in turn drives their specific actions.
The book uses the classic transformation of Ebenezer Scrooge as a compelling example.
Right, from A Christmas Carol.
His initial purpose was purely money, leading to a singular priority of hoarding wealth. He was incredibly productive in collecting coin, sure, but lived a miserable, isolated life. After Marley's intervention and the visits from the spirits, his core purpose shifted profoundly to people. This fundamentally changed his priority to using money and his time to help others, which completely redefined his productivity, didn't it? He became productive throughout his days, joyfully putting every penny and every effort toward others. It illustrates that your purpose doesn't just motivate you, it literally redefines what productivity even means for you.
Exactly. Knowing your purpose provides unparalleled clarity, unwavering conviction, and the deep motivation required to persevere through the inevitable tough times. It's the ultimate glue that keeps you on your path. When what you do on a daily basis truly matches your overarching purpose, your entire life feels aligned, in rhythm. This is why the focusing question for your entire life is so profound. What's the one thing I can do in my life that would mean the most to me and the world, such that by doing it, everything else would be easier or unnecessary? This isn't just a question, it's like a life-altering compass.
Key methodologies, practical application.
Okay, this brings us to perhaps the most critical practical tool in the book, the actionable core of its philosophy, the focusing question. It's deceptively simple, and once you hear it, it seems obvious, yet its power lies in its precise wording. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary?
You got it. And the quality of your answers is always determined by the quality of your questions. Voltaire once wisely wrote, "Judge a man by his questions rather than his answers." The focusing question is meticulously designed to elicit a great answer, not just any answer. It pushes you to bypass the obvious and find that elusive first domino, the single most impactful action that creates the maximum leverage. It forces you to discover what matters most right now.
Let's break down its structure, because each part is essential to its power. First, what's the one thing I can do? It emphasizes action that is within your power possible. It's about what you will do, not merely what you should, could, or would do in an ideal world.
Right, actionable.
Such that by doing it means your answer must meet a specific criterion, a direct consequence. It's the bridge between just doing something and doing something for a specific leveraged purpose. And finally, everything else will be easier or unnecessary. This is the ultimate leverage test. It forces you to identify the most impactful action that, once completed, fundamentally simplifies or eliminates other tasks, setting off that powerful domino effect we talked about.
Exactly. And the profound power of this question lies in its iterative nature. You ask it again and again, drilling down to the most important next step. Whether you're applying it to your overall life vision, your annual career goals, or even just for today's most immediate task, it's universally applicable across all domains: spiritual life, physical health, personal relationships, job responsibilities, business growth, financial life, you name it. For example, for your key relationships, you might ask, what's the one thing I can do this week to improve my marriage?
Right.
Or for a work meeting, what's the one thing we can accomplish in this meeting that would allow us to end early and still achieve our objective? It's a lens that clarifies your priorities at any scale.
This is a perfect moment for you, our listener, to engage with this powerful tool. We invite you to pause for a moment, even just mentally, and consider this. What's the one thing you can do right now, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary in your current biggest goal? Think about it for your career, a personal development ambition, your health, or even a specific project you're working on. The answer might surprise you, and it's your first step towards implementing this powerful philosophy. Okay, so once you have your big picture, your someday goal, how do you break it down into daily actionable steps that actually lead to that massive achievement? The book introduces a concept called goal setting to the now.
This is a brilliant method of backward planning. The book beautifully illustrates it with the analogy of Russian matryoshka dolls. You start with your ultimate, largest, someday goal, your outermost doll. Then you systematically open it up by asking the focusing question at different time horizons. So based on your someday goal, you ask, what's the one thing I can do in the next 5 years to be on track? Once you have that 5-year one thing, you ask, so based on my 5-year goal, what's the one thing I can do this year? You continue this process on this month, this week, and finally, what's the one thing I can do right now? This process meticulously connects your future purpose to your present priority. It effectively lines up all your dominoes from the largest to the smallest, ensuring every current action serves your ultimate vision.
This backward planning process is incredibly powerful because it trains your mind to deeply connect today's action to your future aspirations. And there's solid research backing this up too, right? Studies show that students who visualize the process of achieving a goal like envisioning all the specific study sessions needed to earn an A, they perform significantly better than those who only visualize the outcome, like just getting an A.
That's right. This process-oriented visualization helps overcome the planning fallacy. That's where we tend to underestimate the time and effort needed for tasks. Backward planning engages a more realistic, strategic thinking process.
Okay, and here's a crucial final step you mentioned.
Right.
Write your goals down. It sounds simple, maybe too simple, but it's often overlooked.
Massively overlooked. Dr. Gail Matthews' 2008 study at the Dominican University of California found that individuals who wrote down their goals were a remarkable 39.5% more likely to achieve them.
Nearly 40%.
Yeah. The act of writing solidifies your commitment, clarifies your thinking, and serves as a constant reminder. The study even showed that if they also sent weekly progress reports to friends, they were an even more astounding 76.7% more likely to achieve them.
Wow.
So writing them down is not just about recording, it's about concretizing your vision and uncovering your right priority for right now.
Knowing your one thing is powerful, but actually doing it consistently requires a dedicated, almost ruthless approach to your time. The book champions time blocking as productivity's greatest power tool. It sounds so simple, but it's where the rubber meets the road, isn't it?
Absolutely. Most successful people are also the most productive because they consciously devote maximum uninterrupted time to their top priority, their one thing. Time blocking means making a non-negotiable appointment with yourself for your one thing and never missing it. It's about concentrating all your thoughts, all your energy on the work at hand. Much like Alexander Graham Bell famously said, the sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. Without focused time, your most important work simply won't get done.
The book even shares a highly productive person's daily energy plan, emphasizing that the secret to a productive day is energizing yourself in the early hours to create positive momentum. It's a holistic approach, starting before you even tackle your work. This plan involves 5 key areas.
Right. First, meditate and pray for spiritual energy.
Okay.
Second, eat right, exercise, and sleep sufficiently for physical energy. Crucial.
Got it.
Third, hug, kiss, and laugh with loved ones for emotional energy. Don't neglect that.
Right.
Fourth, set goals, plan, and calendar for mental energy. Get organized. And finally, fifth, time block your one thing for business energy. The idea is that if you can have a highly productive day until noon by dedicating those critical early hours to your one thing, the rest of the day kind of falls into place much more easily.
That makes sense. Get the big rock moved first.
Exactly. This concept is further reinforced by Paul Graham's influential maker's schedule, manager's schedule idea. He highlights the stark difference in how makers, those who create, design, code, write, and managers, those who oversee, coordinate, meet, approach time. Makers need large, uninterrupted blocks of maker time, ideally half-day increments for creative and deep work. Many organizations, however, are structured for manager time, filled with hourly meetings, which can severely disrupt maker time.
Yeah, meeting culture can kill deep work.
Totally. The recommendation is clear. Be a maker in the morning, focusing on your one thing. Be a manager in the afternoon. And you don't quit until your one thing is done. You work on event time, completion of the task, not clock time, like just putting in hours. Think like a dairy farmer who goes home when the cows are milked, not just because it's 5 p.m.
That distinction between maker and manager time is so crucial and often overlooked. It's not just about what you do, but how you schedule the time to do it. And this commitment to time blocking also includes dedicated time for planning, right?
Yes. Block an hour each week. Review your annual and monthly goals. Ask the focusing question to determine your one thing for the upcoming week. This ensures you consistently connect your daily actions to all your future tomorrows, keeping you on track for your biggest goals.
Okay, so time blocking for your one thing and truly honoring that commitment, that requires accountability.
It does. Taking complete ownership of your outcomes, holding no one but yourself responsible for what happens, is argued to be the single most powerful thing you can do for your success. Accountable people don't shy away from reality. They absorb setbacks, they persevere through problems, and crucially, they use outcomes as vital information to frame better actions going forward.
That's a powerful shift in mindset. It makes me think about how often we're quick to blame circumstances or others when things don't go our way. The book emphasizes finding an accountability partner to help foster this ownership, This could be a mentor, a peer, or maybe in its highest form, a professional coach.
Yes, exactly. This partner provides frank, objective feedback. They create an expectation for productive progress, and they offer invaluable brainstorming or expertise. They're not just cheerleaders. They give you the honest truth and help you see your blind spots.
And this accountability piece is backed by research, too.
Absolutely. Remember Dr. Gail Matthews' study we mentioned? It showed that individuals who wrote down their goals and sent progress reports to friends were 76.7% more likely to achieve them. That accountability connection is huge. Similarly, Kay Anders Ericsson's extensive research on expert performance consistently observed that elite performers across diverse fields like chess, music, sports actively seek out teachers and coaches. They want supervised training and objective feedback. Accountability truly works. It spurs you to better results and accelerates your path to mastery. You'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who achieves extraordinary results without some form of accountability in their lives.
Overcoming obstacles and sustaining success.
Okay, so just as there are lies that mislead us, the book identifies 4 thieves that can actively derail your productivity and steal your focus. Being aware of them is more than half the battle because they often operate subtly, don't they?
They really do. These are just minor annoyances. These thieves can truly hold you up and rob you of your precious productivity and focus. And since no one is standing by to protect you from them, it's entirely up to you. You have to recognize them and stop them in their tracks. It's an internal defense system you must build.
Okay, let's start with thief, #1, inability to say no. Oof. This one hits hard for many of us who are people pleasers or who just genuinely want to be helpful.
Right. Someone once sagely observed that one yes must be defended by 1,000 no's over time. This captures the essence of this thief perfectly. Saying yes to everything that comes your way, every request, every opportunity, every distraction, invariably means saying no to your one thing. The only way to protect what you've deliberately said yes to and to stay truly productive is to learn to say no to anyone or anything that could derail you. Steve Jobs famously exemplified this after his return to Apple in 1997. He radically took Apple from 350 products down to just 10 in 2 years.
10.
10. He proclaimed, focusing is about saying no. He was after extraordinary results, and he intuitively understood there was only one way to get there: ruthless elimination.
And it does feel selfish to say no, doesn't it? Being needed is incredibly satisfying, and helping others is inherently fulfilling.
It does feel that way sometimes, but the book argues it's essential. Master marketer Seth Godin offers some practical advice for this. He says, you can say no with respect, you can say no promptly, and you can say no with a lead to someone who might say yes. So learning to say no isn't about being unhelpful. It's about gaining the freedom to say a truly powerful and authentic yes to your most important goal. As Bill Cosby put it, with a touch of humor and wisdom, I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. It's about protecting your purpose.
Got it. Okay, the next thief is thief, #2, fear of chaos. This one can be particularly paralyzing for those of us who like things tidy and in order.
I can relate to this too. When you strive for greatness and focus intensely on your one thing, concentrating all your energy on that single point of leverage, other areas of your life will inevitably experience some form of chaos. This is not just a possibility. The book suggests it's virtually guaranteed. Oscar-winning filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola, who knows a thing or two about large-scale, intense projects, wisely observed, anything you build on a large scale or with intense passion invites chaos. It's just a side effect of putting a disproportionate amount of energy into one area.
So the key is, accept it, don't fight it.
Basically, yes. Accept this temporary chaos, don't fight it. This chaos can manifest in many forms. Neglected emails piling up, a messy desk, other tasks slipping through the cracks, or even just a feeling of being behind in other areas. But the book offers a powerful reframe. Focusing intently on your one thing ultimately creates the income, the opportunity, or the leverage to manage that chaos down the line. Don't let the fear of temporary mess or perceived disarray stop you. The extraordinary success you have accomplishing your one thing will continually prove that you made the right decision to lean into productive imbalance.
Okay, our third thief is thief, #3, poor health habits. This might seem less directly related to productivity at first glance, but the book makes a compelling case for its critical impact.
It's fundamental. Your physical well-being isn't just a separate category. It directly impacts your ability to focus, think clearly, and produce at your highest level. Consider the brain. Though it's only about, 150th of your body mass. It consumes a staggering 15th of all the calories we burn. Furthermore, your willpower, that finite resource for focus and discipline, is stored in the prefrontal cortex. And that's the part of the brain that is among the first to suffer from a shortage of resources, like if you skip a meal or get insufficient sleep. When your willpower is low, you instinctively fall back on your default settings, which are often less productive.
So this highlights the absolute necessity of intentionally managing your energy.
Absolutely. The book advises eating right and regularly to keep your willpower tank full. It emphasizes that willpower is a limited, but thankfully renewable resource. Think of it like a cell phone battery. It drains throughout the day with every decision and act of self-control, but it recharges with proper rest, nutrition, and downtime.
And speaking of habits, there was that fascinating 2009 study from University College of London. It found it takes an average of 66 days to acquire a new habit, not just 21.
That's right, 66 days on average, with a full range from 18 to 254 days. So it really varies. The key is to stick with the discipline long enough for the habit to truly form and become ingrained, automatic.
And there's a ripple effect too, right? The halo effect.
Yes. Australian researchers Megan Oaten and Ken Cheng termed it the halo effect. They found that students who successfully acquired one positive habit, like exercise, also reported less stress, less impulsive spending, and better dietary habits. This means sustaining discipline on one good habit can create this positive ripple effect, making other positive changes easier. It's almost as if everything else gets a little simpler once you've truly mastered that one foundational health habit.
Okay, finally we come to Thief, #4, environment doesn't support your goals. This one emphasizes how much our surroundings and the people in them truly matter.
Hugely important. Your environment, both the people you spend time with and your physical space, can either powerfully support your one thing or subtly but effectively pull you away from it. Being around high achievers, for instance, can significantly boost your motivation, your standards, and your overall performance. A psychology study showed that students with high-achieving friends experienced measurable gains not only in their grades and motivational beliefs, but also in their objective academic performance. We are, to a significant extent, the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Choose wisely.
And your physical environment is just as crucial. If your workspace is full of distractions, constant social media notifications, the news perpetually streaming, a cluttered desk, you might get sidetracked or mentally exhausted before even starting your one thing.
Definitely. The book's advice is to sweep for minds. Turn off your phone, shut down email, close unnecessary browser tabs during your time block, have any supplies or snacks you need on hand, creating what they call your bunker to avoid leaving and breaking your focus. You need to meticulously clear the path to success to consistently get there. It's about setting yourself up to win.
Okay, so to truly integrate and live the one thing philosophy, the book outlines 3 essential commitments. These empower you to achieve extraordinary results. These are not just ideas, they are active principles to embody.
These commitments are indeed the bedrock for extraordinary productivity and sustained success. They are: follow the path of mastery, move from E to P, that's entrepreneurial to purposeful, and live the accountability cycle.
Let's dive into commitment #1, follow the path of mastery. This isn't about reaching an end state, is it? It's more of a journey.
Precisely. Mastery isn't a destination. It's a path, a continuous way of thinking, learning, and acting. K. Anders Ericsson's groundbreaking research on expert performance, the stuff that led to the 10,000-hour rule, showed that elite performers achieved their status not through innate talent alone, but through regular, deliberate, and highly focused practice over years. For work, this translates to dedicating roughly 4 hours a day for about 250 workdays a year, specifically to your one thing. That's the consistent, protected amount of time you need to time block every single day to truly move towards mastery in your chosen area.
And what's fascinating is that when you commit to mastering your one thing, it becomes this powerful platform. It speeds up progress in other related areas because knowledge begets knowledge, skills build on skills. It's exponential.
Exactly. It's a pursuit that never truly ends. Like Jigoro Kano, the founder of judo, who famously asked to be buried in his white belt. This symbolized not a lack of achievement, but the perpetual journey of learning and the humble, open mindset of a lifelong beginner.
Love that. Okay, next is commitment, #2. Move from E to P, entrepreneurial to purposeful. This speaks to how we approach learning and growth, right?
Yes. We often start with an entrepreneurial E approach, relying primarily on our current abilities, natural talent, familiar effort. This feels natural, comfortable, efficient initially, but it's inherently limiting. Eventually, we hit what Joshua 4 termed an okay plateau.
Ah.
This is where, like with basic typing skills, we reach a level of proficiency we deem acceptable, and then we essentially switch off our learning. We go on autopilot.
And progress stalls.
Right. To break through this okay plateau and achieve truly extraordinary results, you need a purposeful P approach. This means continuously and intentionally improving how you do things. It requires being open to new thinking, actively seeking out new skills, building new relationships, even if it feels unnatural or uncomfortable at first. It's about being relentlessly curious and proactive, doing whatever it takes to find better models, better systems, better ways of operating, things that can take you much farther than your natural talent alone ever could. It's a commitment to constant evolution.
Okay, and finally, commitment, #3, live the accountability cycle. This ties back to what we discussed earlier about having a partner, but it feels deeper.
It is deeper. This commitment is arguably the most important one. It's about taking complete and unwavering ownership of your outcomes. Accountable people don't fear reality. They actively seek it, acknowledge it, and then own it. They absorb setbacks as learning opportunities, persevere through problems rather than collapsing under them. And, crucially, use all outcomes, good or bad, as information to frame better, more effective actions going forward. It's about becoming the primary driver of your own destiny.
And as we mentioned, an accountability partner or coach is invaluable here because it's hard to do this alone.
Extremely hard. They provide that critical, honest, objective feedback and create an expectation for consistent, productive progress. It's not about hand-holding. It's about elevating your game. Elite achievers almost universally have coaches helping them in key areas of their life, precisely because they know that supervised training and external impartial feedback are essential for reaching and maintaining elite performance.
The transformative benefits and broad applicability.
So when you diligently apply the principles of the one thing, the promise from the authors is pretty clear and compelling. You achieve significant transformative progress and ultimately extraordinary results. This isn't just theory, it's a proven, repeatable approach.
Absolutely. By deeply understanding that success is sequential, not simultaneous. By grasping that not everything matters equally. And by committing to the intense focus on the right, single thing that creates that powerful domino effect. Individuals can genuinely unlock their full potential. They can achieve far more than they ever thought possible, not by adding more to their plate, but by strategically removing all but the essential. This book shows you how to choose what truly matters most and then give it all the time, energy, and focus it demands.
One of the most immediate and profound benefits you gain from this philosophy is incredible clarity. In a world of overwhelming choices, endless distractions, constant noise, the focusing question cuts through all of that like a knife.
It's like a mental laser beam, yeah. It helps you understand with absolute certainty what truly matters most in any given situation. It creates a crystal clear path forward. This clarity isn't just intellectual, it leads to deeper conviction in your direction and enables faster, better, more confident decisions. Knowing precisely where you're going and what step to take next helps lead you to the best possible outcomes and experiences life has to offer. It helps eliminate indecision and second guessing.
And a benefit that I think resonates deeply with so many listeners is the profound reduction in stress and overwhelm. By purposefully prioritizing and radically simplifying your focus, you naturally reduce that pervasive feeling of being overbooked, overcommitted, perpetually behind.
Definitely. When you time block your one thing, you don't just clear your schedule, you free your mind. You free it from the constant worry about what might not get done. And instead, you're inspired and energized by what will get done, that one critical task that matters most. This structured, focused approach leads to a significantly less chaotic and more controlled life. It directly reduces the debilitating stress associated with information overload, endless to-do lists, and that feeling of constantly reacting. It's only when you intentionally make time for extraordinary results that they actually get a chance to show up in your life.
And what's truly remarkable about the one thing is its universal applicability. It's not just a business book for entrepreneurs or corporate leaders. Its principles transcend specific domains.
That's its real genius, I think. The principles can be seamlessly applied to any area where you desire extraordinary results. This includes personal goals, nurturing key relationships, improving your health, deepening your spiritual life, achieving career milestones, managing finances, pursuing education, community involvement, so much more. The book provides powerful, specific examples that illustrate this. Like for family, you might ask, what's the one thing we can do this week to truly improve our marriage? Or what's the one thing we can do to spend more quality, uninterrupted family time together?
Practical.
Or for work, what's the one thing we can accomplish in this meeting that would allow us to end early and still achieve our core objective? Or what's the one thing we can do to find and develop incredible talent for our team?
Good ones.
For school, what's the one thing we can do to decrease our dropout rate to 0? Or what's the one thing we can do to raise our test scores by 20% this semester? For community, what's the one thing we can do to significantly improve our sense of community cohesion? Or what's the one thing we can do to double our volunteerism this year?
The message is crystal clear then. Wherever you want to achieve extraordinary results, no matter the scale. The path begins with identifying your one thing and then giving it the dedicated time, energy, and unwavering focus it deserves. Outro. So we've taken a deep dive into the one thing and explored how it empowers you to think big, go small, and achieve extraordinary results by focusing intently on what truly matters. It's about the courageous act of ignoring everything you could do and committing fully to doing what you should do, knowing that the singular focus will drive an exponential domino effect through your life.
Exactly. It means systematically debunking those pervasive lies of multitasking and the illusion of perpetual balance. It's about understanding that willpower is a limited yet renewable resource that needs careful management. And most importantly, it's about embracing the 3 powerful commitments: following the path of mastery, moving from E to P, and consistently living the accountability cycle.
The journey to anything you want, no matter how grand, always starts with a single step, which the book calls the one thing. In the end, when we reflect on our lives, it truly comes down to avoiding regrets, doesn't it?
It really does. The book shares profound wisdom, echoing Mark Twain's famous words. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover.
And Bronnie Ware, who cared for the dying, compiled their top regrets, which consistently included wishing they hadn't worked so hard, had the courage to express their true feelings, stayed in touch with friends, and simply let themselves be happier. This book offers a framework to address those very regrets before it's too late. The one thing powerfully argues that true success is ultimately an inside job. It beautifully illustrates this with the story of a father who gives his son a puzzle of the world, hoping to buy himself some quiet time. To his surprise, the son quickly solves it. When asked how, the boy explains that on the back of the pieces was a picture of a man. He simply says, "When I put the man together, the world just fell into place."
That's the ultimate resonant takeaway, isn't it? Put yourself together. Align your purpose, prioritize with intention, apply your productivity to your one thing. When you do that, your world too will fall into place. The extraordinary becomes not just possible, but highly probable. Remember, all success in life starts within you. You are the crucial first domino.
So if you're ready to start living a life of no regrets, a life of profound clarity, and to unlock your fullest potential, don't delay another moment.
Ask yourself right now, without hesitation, what's the one thing I can do right now to start truly using the one thing in my life, such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary?
And then make doing that answer your very first one thing. Onward. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the one thing. We hope this conversation has given you powerful insights and actionable steps for your own journey towards extraordinary results.
Keep seeking those profound aha moments, and remember, a clear structure and focused action can truly transform your experience, reducing overwhelm and amplifying your impact.
Until next time, stay curious, stay focused, and keep diving deep.